Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Court of Spades session. I am Emily and I will be your DM and Tiefling Mythical Beast. As always, I'm back on my salted caramel tea bullshit this week. And I just want to say in advance a formal apology to Detroit for this session. Anyway, continue with the introduction.
I'm Nat, and I'm playing the party's human druid, Jezebel Amarok. I'll apologize in advance for my voice dying at some point during this game, I'm sure. Con crud hit hard.
I'm Liz. I play Marin. And I'm mildly concerned about what the DM meant by that.
Hello, I'm Nick, and I will be playing your Dragonborn fighter, Owl, who is just happy to be here.
Hi, it's your boy Detroit playing Peter Lombard, the halfling bard, and I'm really scared. I don't know why I should be scared, but I'm really scared now. Thanks, Em.
You shouldn't be scared, I'm just sorry.
What do you mean you should be scared?
Anywho, recap time!
I'm so glad I leveled up now.
No, it won't be. You guys probably won't even need dice, that's a lie, but like, it won't be dangerous.
Yes, but I have spells. I'm not letting anything bad happen.
We're gonna be rolling performance checks all night, that's all.
I swear to God.
Don't worry, your mom's not invited to the party, she's too poor.
Wow.
Thank God.
Way to burn Peter's mom.
I'm not burning anything.
We prefer the term working class. Thank you very much.
They're middle class.
Yeah, come on. We're merchants here. Give us a break. Anyways.
Anyway, so to recap last week's session, Jez had a very long conversation with
A squirrel.
Not a
Oh,
squirrel!
Squirrel.
It was a furry.
She was a fucking kitsune.
It was a kitsune!
Oh, okay.
Which is a legitimate race of Tea&D people. God!
Yeah, we call them furries.
Yes, wizard, it is.
It's not a core book. We ain't talking core book.
We
It's
are,
homebrew,
but-
motherfucker.
A very well executed homebrew.
Yeah.
Is
Fair.
the reference that I used. That wasn't me tooting my own horn about how I executed the kitsune. Anyway, yeah, they had a talk, and Jez got some confusing information. And then you guys returned. Peter tried to perform in the final performance of the
I
evening.
barfed on stage.
And yeah, and then he lost his, everything in front of
Detroit, you sound so proud about that. He barfed on stage.
Yeah, man, I barfed. Listen, man.
You gotta own it.
Yeah, you gotta own it.
At this point, to just regain a little bit of the remaining dignity that Peter has in this town.
I have no dignity.
And then he dimension doored off the stage to hide from his mom.
I just poofed this fuck out of there. I'll write to
Yeah.
mom later. She'll get a letter. I'll write a letter, I promise.
Okay. Al went home to rest for the night with his family, but announced that he would be attending the ball as well because he is military and his family is military. And I don't think anything much else that was eventful. Oh, that's right. Marin had a very long talk with Ace.
Yeah, he sure did.
That was last week, where Ace revealed some personal information about himself, as well as showed Marin parts of him he'd never shown him before.
That's fucking gay.
His trauma.
That one's stupid. Yeah.
But anyway, this week we have the gala. So I believe believe we're just gonna hop right into it. Let me pull up my notes again.
Slightly out of character talk. Marin,
Yeah.
do you have counterspell on you? Because
What?
I remember you used, the only reason I'm asking is because
Wait,
Wolfen Bards.
sorry. Did you ask up to Marin?
Well,
To you, Wiz.
yeah, to you, Wiz.
Me?
Does Marin
Okay.
have counterspell?
Yes, he does.
Okay, because I'm trying to decide which 2 spells as a bard I want to take. I was considering counterspell.
I
Counterspell's really
Counterspell's always
good.
good to have.
But we have a
will
counterspell
say-
now, so
will say,
It never hurts to have more.
having multiple people have counterspell is not a bad thing.
I mean you're not wrong.
Because also I'm a squishy wizard.
But I can pick. I have such access, such a variety
you
of
do as a
spells.
bard.
It's an easier way to eliminate what he can choose from
True.
if one of you already has it. And he can always pick it up later if he wants.
That's true. I'm really scared. I don't know what you're gonna do to me. You shouldn't have said that, and I'm just gonna be really paranoid for the rest of this.
Detroit, it's more an apology on my end for just what it...
Well, it's a good thing I'm already drinking a bit tonight, so cheers.
Here, yeah, we're fine. Okay. So, you guys wake up the next day, fairly late. I don't believe you guys kind of had the morning to go back to the festival, and like those of you who wanted to wandered a bit and shopped for more like standard items, I would say. A few of you picked up some standard items, but it was a pretty quiet morning otherwise, except for you, Jez, because the second you woke up, Jack took you to his room and has been making you up since
Nobody has
Dawns.
seen Jez since last night.
Mm-hmm. So, that's what you've been up to. I think the only other thing that has to be addressed is that Marin returned very late in the morning. After his midnight rendezvous with a certain merchant that he made a deal with. And Nick slept in because he was very hungover. As was Peter, I assume. And also
yeah.
just kind of emotionally hungover.
Emotionally hungover.
But the day quickly passes. There's not really an event that's happening for the common folk today. Today was specifically reserved for the Nobles Gala. So, it isn't long. It's about, I would say, around 7 in the evening, when you guys kind of all get a knock on your door consecutively as Ace walks down the hallway and kind of raps his knuckles against the door of your rooms. After you all emerge, Jez, adorned in your very luxurious gown that Jack has tailor-made for Jez for this occasion. Let's see, I actually have a thing. Hold on one second. Story refs. Throws this boy in there. You guys are greeted by Ace, who is in his formal regalia. You've seen it only like once before, I'd say. He saves it for very specific occasions, but it's usually along the lines of the same type thing. And the mask that he wears is simple, nothing too ornate, and it covers about half of his face. And he kind of looks at all of you as he adjusts this glove that he's wearing that is kind of ridiculous. It is a, for those of you who saw me cosplay Ace, kind of know of it, but they are gloves that have what is essentially a ruffle that like puffs up from the end of them. They're super extra and ugly, and he's wearing them. And he kind of looks at all of you as you emerge fully dressed for the evening. Peter, you have acquired, I assume, a new outfit since you threw up on your school uniform the previous night?
I don't need anyone seeing me in that uniform for a good while, at least in this town.
Gotcha. As you all emerge, Ace kind of nonchalantly looks around at all of you and nods approvingly. Well, gang, you clean up real nice. Myron, you only look a little more extra than you usually do.
Good, I was going to say, I always look nice. But thank you.
Don't worry, I was not about to discredit your usual efforts like that. Peter, you
Yes?
look better than last night when I saw you arrive.
Never better. What?
Nothing. You just.
What do you be scoffing at me for? Huh?
I'm not scoffing at you. I've heard a story or two from from Pip specifically over breakfast this morning.
Yeah. Halfling can't hold his liquor. You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
I'll contain myself at the gala tonight. All right. I'll cut back back a pint or two. All right.
I'd appreciate that immensely. Maybe cut back on all of it if you can help it.
I'll tell you what to do. I know what I'm about.
He puts his hands up a little defensively and is kind of like, all right, I'm not coming for you, just...
To an extent, I believe that is his job.
Yeah.
To tell us what to do.
What Marin said. I'm your boss. That's right, I'm your boss.
Yeah.
I'm telling you not to drink too much at the party tonight, Peter. I swear to fucking God. If you embarrass us...
Listen, I could dig up a lot of dirt on you, boss. I could say a lot of stuff right now about how our feelings about you, boss.
Woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning, so I'm just gonna let that slide.
Yeah, let's keep it at that.
How are the rest of you feeling this morning? Jizz? I see Jack has worked his magic on you.
Jazz crosses their arms and raises an eyebrow at him.
I see you're still giving me the silent treatment, but it's fine, I deserve it. Marin, are you responsible for Nyx? Or did he do all that on his own?
What do you think the answer is?
Nyx
I
looks
am
kind of...
always responsible for Nyx.
Nyx looks kind of flustered, but he is already kind of wearing his mask. He is dressed up in a pretty simple outfit. It is honestly just like an entirely black tuxedo. It has coattails that have just the thinnest bit of gold embroidery on it, and his mask is a half wolf face that covers most of his face except for his mouth. Hello, Tea Leaf. You wouldn't be able to tell he's flustered except for the fact that his body language seems very uncomfortable in this three-piece suit. I couldn't convince him to let me wear a crop top to this one. I just realized I need to amend something. He's not wearing a three-piece black suit. He's actually wearing a very nice outfit that Wiz designed. That is royal blue.
Yeah. God.
I'm sorry. I forgot. It's been a while since you drew that.
No,
It is
it's
black,
okay.
to be fair, and it does have, like, not essentially tailcoats, but a longer tunic part to it.
Yeah. Similar.
Yes. But yeah, Nick says, he wouldn't let me wear a crop top to this one. And Ace kind of nods at you approvingly, Marin, and he's like, good, I approve. I would not have let you leave this headquarters with a crop top on.
Neither would I.
I knew I could trust you. With that, is everyone ready? I'm going to run us through some protocol before we leave entirely, but are you all ready to proceed?
I think
Yeah?
so.
I think so. Jack is kind of like, he kind of like pushes Jez a little more out of the room, and he's like, yes, I've been ready since yesterday.
Just nudges him back in, playful fashion. Not like,
yeah.
get back in the room, but...
Yeah. And Ace nods, and he kind of turns around and flicks his head a little. He's like, right, then follow me. We're gonna talk in the main hall real quick. And so he leads you all down to the normal place where you have the round table where you host breakfast and meetings and a whole bunch of other things. And he doesn't make you all sit down, but he sits at the edge of the table and kind of looks over all of you again, almost as if he's double checking that you look presentable enough for this occasion. Would all of you like to describe what you're wearing? Al, will get to you when you arrive at the gala. But the others of you, Jez, would you like to describe what you're wearing?
Yeah, sure. Give me a second to look at my thing again.
Okay.
Alright, so Jez, who is kind of the fantasy equivalent of sweatpants and sweatshirts normally. Did I turn on my mic? I did. Okay,
No,
good. Is wearing a floor-length, like long-sleeve white outfit. The top is done in white velvet and like pearlescent beads, like adorning it. And the bottom is done in like chiffon and lace, so it's like very light and airy. All whites and like the little glittery, shiny beads that are really, really in like every single bead store ever, and I love them a lot. And has like a half style kind of Japanese fox-esque mask done in blues and whites. Yeah.
Alright. Very pretty. I'm excited.
So, yeah.
Go ahead,
Jack
Marin,
did good.
describe.
Marin has a, I guess kind of like, I don't know how you describe that. Kind of a suit jacket-esque top that's mostly fitted at his chest and has two buttons, rows of buttons that go down in gold, with chains in between them, and kind of puffier sleeves that cinch in at the elbow and go into kind of a leather bracer, with a similar leather kind of bracing collar piece. with a navy sash and belts, and navy pants and tall, extra leather and gold boots. His top is kind of like a maroony purple, with kind of a dark purple cape off the back of it. And his mask is a kind of like a pretty typical masquerade mask, with golds and purples and kind of a flare that goes up on the right side with peacock feathers and purple flowers.
Extra.
Extra.
Is
extra.
Marin wearing knee-high boots or thigh-high boots? This is important to me.
Oh, they're looking like knee-high. Could be that high.
Like over the knee. So like just about thigh high.
Kinky.
Okay, Peter, what's your word?
That's a good question. I did not think too hard about
That's
this.
okay. You don't have to have as intricate a description as Wizard did. Who's been
no,
thinking
no,
about
no,
this
no.
for like 2 months.
Extra, and I happen to have drawn it.
That's true. It's a really good design. I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
It's very good. Very good.
This is what he's going to be traveling in.
That's true. But Peter's wearing probably similar colors. Probably similar colors to his uniform. Burgundy and navy blue. It's basically like a 3-piece suit, and then he is wearing the like the gold and blue masquerade mask with 2 fishes on it. Let me see if I can pull up the reference picture for that again.
That's so nice because it kind of complements
one.
what Nyx and Marin are wearing, but combined
exactly.
into one outfit.
Exactly.
And then Jez is just out here looking like an angel.
Straight from the heavens.
Yeah, ethereal.
But yeah.
Awesome. So Peter's wearing kind of a almost like 2 koi fish curled around each other as a mask.
And then his suit is pretty on the low key this time. He's trying not to bring so much attention to himself. Like laugh.
Shocking.
I know.
We broke our bard a little bit.
Just a little.
Okay, so Ace sits in front of you all and kind of clears his throat, and you notice that even though he looks very formal and dressed up, you notice that like he seems a little bit off from his usual demeanor. Usually he's pretty confident and like a strong leader type, takes his stuff seriously but can still be a goofball. But he looks a little nervous, maybe. And so he clears his throat and kind of wrings his hands in front of him. This gala, I'm not gonna lie, is really important for us. Not only is it in front of nobles from all over, from Haven and Oromir, but it's the first time you're all going to meet the Queen. And Queen Palace is a very dear friend of mine. I've known her for very long. And it's very important that we make a good impression for her, okay? I know that might be obvious, common sense, because not only is she my friend, but she's the queen, but I really mean it, guys. We can't afford to slip up again. Last time I know it wasn't your fault. I know it was my fault, but having to escort all of you into the kingdom as if you were being arrested is not very dignified.
It's not good for PR.
Yeah, exactly.
I get
To
you.
put it in simple terms, I know that our goal is to not leave a lasting impression of who we are, but we should also not be seen. We shouldn't stand out. Does that make sense? We need to show her that we are capable of doing what is expected of us, which is being civil and being honorable and not making a spectacle of ourselves. He kind of glances at you, Peter, and clears his throat again. There's a lot that's happened lately, but we just need to prove to her that I need to prove to her that I was right to put our trust in you, because it's not just my trust. It's her trust, and it's the trust of the kingdom when I recruited you into the court. Can I have your words? Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I get it. I made a bit of a scene the other night, but I mean, what's the worst that can happen? We just hang out. We have just mingle with high society, and that's it, right? We're not trying to do anything else, are we?
No, not really. It's very much. It's very much so that the queen can meet you, but also, if you can, you're welcome to ask about any information. There are people from Haven here, and, well, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it previously, but there have been disappearances in Haven, and we're not quite sure why. We have a very little handful of information, but the more that you can gather from people from Haven, the better. So, network, but don't be obvious about it.
Right.
You can meet people, just don't leave a trail, I guess. Don't leave a paper trail,
Yeah. Don't leave breadcrumbs. I got you.
Exactly. I don't want people looking for you.
That being said, the queen's aware of the court, right? Just to reconfirm that she's aware of that, but everyone else, like the rest of society, is not aware of us.
Yes, the only people who know of the existence of the court are you, me, Queen Palace, and the other leaders of the kingdoms. They're the only ones who know about the existence of the court.
So
even
we don't have to
the
be
queen's
too
closest guards don't know about our existence.
Okay, so we don't have to be that inconspicuous around her specifically.
Yeah, exactly. She knows everything. I tell her everything.
Oh, you tell her everything.
Yes, she is technically my boss, if you can think about it like that. I don't know why you're saying it like that, Peter. It's making me very uncomfortable.
No, I'm just thinking about
making some noises that I don't understand.
Listen, I'm just trying to contemplate the best plan of action for tonight, alright? Clearly, I'm worried about these missing people in Haven as much as you are, okay?
If you see me in public, I know that I told you my real name, but it is strictly Ace in public. And I have a bit of a persona for when I'm in public because I wear the Queen's regalia, so if anybody asks about me, which they shouldn't, just inform them that I am a general of the Queen's Guard, because that's what I technically am during the day.
That does remind us, and this extends to everyone else, we should probably come up with aliases. Or at least, have set, I guess, aliases, so that we don't accidentally rat each other out.
The Eagle
like
One.
code names?
Code names.
I'll be Eagle One.
Excuse me, I
Aaron is
just said
currently
that.
doing
Emily, I just said that. I know my voice is shot, but I just said
Oh
that.
fuck, sorry. We made the same joke. Anyway. Yeah, I'm down for code names.
No.
What?
No. You can
Nope.
call me Marin Malios.
I will admit that I'm with Marin on this one, I think. We don't exist.
No, I get that, but what if
I'm
someone
from the
starts...
mainland.
All I'm saying is, like, what if someone starts prying on us?
Then I
And
tell
then
you
asking, like, oh,
from
who's
the
your
mainland.
friend? Yeah, but the mainland means a lot, Marin. The mainland's pretty big.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, all I'm saying is, the last thing I want to do
track me
is...
down to my shit little human town.
Alright, Marin. Damn. Okay,
Listen,
Marin.
Peter, I'll call you a code name if you want. I'll be... Let's see.
I can't believe we're doing this.
It'll be fun. Listen, we're already wearing masks. Alright, how much more silly could it possibly be?
I mean, you can call me Life if you want.
Awesome.
It's the name that I picked out for myself a long time ago, but I just haven't really felt like it belonged to me yet, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Nyx is what my dad named me, so that's what I usually go by.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, you can call me Life.
Alright, Life. Mr. Life. Let's see. You can call me... Tea Leaf.
Oh, God!
Peter,
Tea
what?
Leaf.
What? That's my cousin's last name. What do you want?
Interesting.
Although I read stories about this one tiefling named Tea Leaf.
Oh,
That's a long
God.
story.
God.
That's a long story.
What universe are we in? Hi guys, welcome to my homebrewed Wildmount campaign.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
Oh my
I might
god.
just call you T, because
Nice.
it's easier, but...
Listen, I got a tea on everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Spill the tea.
I'm glad Nyx gets me. I mean, sorry, Life. I'm glad
I-
Mr. Life here gets me.
I get you, Peter. So I guess it's Jez and Marin and Life and Tea. Okay.
You
Oh,
sound
Jack,
like
do you
you're
want a
gonna
code
have
name? No. Thanks. I'm good. I mean, technically, Ace is also going by a code, so it's not like we're
Yeah.
the odd one.
Ace is standing there, like, pinching the bridge of his nose. Like, oh my god, what have I done by inviting these people to a public event? Guys, please.
I actually do have a relevant question.
Yes, Marin. Anything to move on from this conversation.
Anything for you. Do we act like we don't know you?
Yes. Until I am in. Wow. Wrong.
No, that was
wrong
Nyx's
voice.
voice.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I took a sip of my tea and didn't transition voices. Yes, until the queen is... Until we are somewhere private, don't... I'm going to... This is British, but we're fine. I'm going to go into the party before you, so that it doesn't seem as if we are arriving together, and in public, you can't act like you know me. If anybody recognizes you as the party that was arrested earlier this week, then you can then let them know that you know me, but that is the only connection that you can have to me, is the fact that
they shouldn't, should they? Because this is
a masquerade.
Exactly, and a
Yes.
rich event.
Exactly, but there might be some guards there. There are guards.
Right.
This is a heavily guarded event, and also they're part of the military who are invited to attend, so we're just gonna hope that the masks are enough to make you unrecognizable. That's kind of the whole reason that it was planned to be a masquerade, so that you could meet the queen without risking identifying yourselves so openly. But if something happens, then either deter that conversation or come up with something on the spot, because our affiliation cannot be known since I am technically a part of the Queen's Guard.
I figured.
Any other questions? No? We're good?
Are there any particular key figures that we should keep an eye out? Anyone besides the queen, anyone of particular status we should be aware of? Just so we don't end up stepping on the wrong foot and causing a scene.
No, it's a good question. Of course there are some of the queen's viziers there, but they're not really one for mingling, and also I can't imagine they'd be participating in the actual dancing or anything like that. They're usually there to keep guard. And as far as I know, no one from Haven or Oromia is of... They're nobles, they're of the wealthier class, but they're not really in positions of power, as their king and their queen cannot travel with them for this event.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you should be okay. Just try to avoid interacting with the Queen's Guard as much as possible.
Alright, keep an eye out for them.
They should be in regalia very close to mine, so that's what you need to keep an eye out for.
Gotcha.
Just one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Arthane exclusive event primarily, correct? I'm only wondering because if worse comes to worse and I need to bluff my way out of something, mentioning the mainland would not be a good excuse for...
No, you would not
being
be... You would not be attending this event if you were not from one of the kingdoms of Althane.
Right.
There are no outsiders allowed. This entire festival of Gaelia is a Althane only tradition. And certainly they wouldn't let outsiders into the palace. That would be a little dangerous. You can talk about, well, I would say you could talk about how you came to Grimoire, but like I said, you shouldn't let too many people know about you and who you are.
Sure.
You forfeited that when you joined the cult. You can make an entire identity for yourself if you'd like, but it has to be false. And it can't be something that people would be curious about. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh god. I gotta think of a new alias.
Is Tea Leaf too curious?
Well, no, I was gonna say, I was gonna say that, that I'm a student at the Bard's College, but I don't want to give out too much information about myself, so I have to come up with something different.
Well, Peter, it's obviously you're not gonna waltz into this gala with your instruments hanging off of you, but you don't have to completely reject.
Wait, you mean I have to give up my? You mean I have to put away my instruments? And Peter's just like standing there, like holding like 4 different instruments, just like looking up at him.
Peter, yes, it's gonna be a ball.
Okay.
Don't worry, you're not gonna need him.
Peter, you also forget we are meeting people we know at the ball.
And there are many people that play instruments. I'm not the only halfling in this town that plays instruments, am I?
Of course
No.
not, Peter.
Listen, you never know when you might need a jiggy. I'll put him away. All right. I'll put him away.
Yeah,
Just,
please.
just like pack your penny whistle or something like that. Just that
My
way.
kazoo.
Yeah. He like pockets a very small like instrument. God.
Oh, I know. I'm calling it harmonica. I'm packing a harmonica.
That's where I keep my wand.
Yeah. See, Marin gets it.
Yes, I don't know why all of you are preparing like this, like you're preparing to go into battle. I know I'm presenting it as a very serious matter, but it's still a party. That was a weird accent, but it's still a party.
I haven't gone anywhere without my wand in 10 years.
Okay.
Listen, all I know is music. All right, that's all I know how to do, and stab things, but mostly music.
I may have a mask, but my ears still show.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. But I'm hoping that won't be an issue, but I guess I understand why. I can't stop them from taking something from you, but just keep it concealed. And hopefully they won't notice. It could be considered a weapon, and they're not allowed in the palace, especially when the queen is present. Are we all good then? Questions answered? We can head out?
I suppose so.
Alright. Jack hooks his arm with yours, Jez. And the rest of you head out. Ace kind of like... You guys get to the inn that is concealing the entrance to your secret hideout, and Ace kind of turns around and puts his hands up, and he's like, "Oh no, I just threw my tea bag in my tea." He's like,
Here I was, thought we were going to a party, Em. What's Ace doing with some tea?
"No, I did that." What are you
Hey, wait. My name's T.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Wait, if you're a T,
I shouldn't have said anything. I dropped the little tag of my tea bag in my tea,
Your
and now it's all
tea.
gross.
And Molly's tea leaf. And my cat is tea leaf. Then
so whose wife?
He turns around and holds his arms up to you, and he's like, "Right, I'm gonna go first. You guys wait here for like 10 minutes, and then follow. You just have to go to the entrance of the palace, and they'll get you through the gate."
Wait, do we have invitations? Do we have documentation that we should be dare.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me, PETA. He...
That would have been
reaches
really
in-
fucked.
Yeah. God, he reaches into, like, a small pouch that he has just on his belt and pulls out, 1, 2, 3, 4 envelopes. With the seal of Grimoire on it.
Nice.
And hands them over to you, and he's like, just present these to the gatekeeper. The seal of the queen should be enough to get you in anyway. But with that, I'll be seeing you around.
Stay safe out there, boss.
Thanks. Please, make good choices.
When have I ever?
He gives you kind of a look and raises, taking,
Mira's just smiling.
leaving
Mira's
the
just
inn.
smiling from under his mask.
You guys are kind of chilling in this inn, where that dragonborn barkeep is just standing and cleaning a glass.
I like to imagine it's the same glass every time.
It is.
It really.
There's
No one
only
ever-
one glass in this abandoned
one ever-
bar.
Buys anything from this inn. This inn is closed. Always. I can't even remember what his name is at this point because I sent it to Nat so long ago.
I know what I messed it up as.
Did you?
Yeah.
To you?
Dueland.
Dolan.
Dolan.
That's right, his name is like Dolan or
Yeah,
something
his name
like
is
that.
Dolan.
That's right.
Alright, guys.
Yeah.
So we got pregame. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going to that gala dry.
Oh my god. Oh my
Peter,
god.
I don't know if that's a very good. I mean,
Oh my
T,
god.
I don't know if that's a very good choice.
Okay.
What? Ace isn't here anymore. What's he gonna do?
One, we're still in the court, technically. You don't have to use your bullshit names.
It's not bullshit. It's my cousin's last name, alright?
I'm getting
Singular
used to
bullshit
it.
name. Peter. Directed at Peter specifically, not you. Two. Oh my god.
Listen, what's the worst that could happen? Dolan, give me
No, Peter. The worst that could happen is you lose your fucking shit all over this nice outfit that you put together.
Yeah, you know what happened? Listen, you know what happened because of that? Or you know why that happened? Because I had too much. I'm not gonna have too much this time.
Peter, I don't know if you exactly understand the limitation of your capacity for alcohol.
Listen, I get it. I'm small bodied. All right, I'll take it easy. I promise.
Yeah, you're like really
it just
small.
helps. It helps get the edge off. All
Are
right.
you nervous?
I'm always nervous. Do you see
You're
how
a
small I am?
Yeah, but you like trained for this, right? To like perform.
You're not.
I
even
mean, I
performing.
went to college. I don't know if that could.
You're not even performing.
Yeah, I'm not even performing. So let's just let me have my drink.
Oh, that wasn't my point.
Oh, I don't know about this.
I don't even think they serve alcohol here.
Listen, Dolan's gotta have
It's a
something.
fake
Dolan, you
closed
gotta have something behind there, right?
Dolan kind of turns his head to acknowledge you and then silently puts the glass down. And as he turns around, he opens up. There's just like a big cabinet behind him that takes up most of the wall, and he kind of slides it open, and there's just like walls of really high-end
I fucking knew
alcohol.
it.
Oh my
I fucking
God.
knew it. You guys didn't believe me. Let me just have one drink just to get the edge off, guys.
Fine.
Plus, we gotta wait like 10 minutes. We gotta kill 10 minutes anyways.
I'm fairly certain it has already been maybe 5.
Yeah,
while
and it's
we're
gonna take me
on
5 minutes to
this.
drink this glass.
God, fine.
He puts down the glass that he's been cleaning for like 3 months now. He sets it on
Like
the edge.
3 months.
He sets it on the edge of the counter. and picks up a different glass and starts cleaning that one, and just kind of like has these cabinets open and a glass inviting you to pour yourself whatever you like.
Awesome. I'll go with something something that's not dark. All right, I'll go easy, guys.
God, I'm just.
Listen, you can watch me pour it. See, it's only half glass.
Yeah, I don't.
I promise I won't have more than 2 more at the gala. Okay.
Well, that all depends on what the hell you're drinking.
It's not dark, so it can't be that bad.
I don't know enough about alcohol to know.
That is wrong.
Goes down like nothing. Am I right, guys?
I don't think we can stop you, so I'm just gonna make sure that's the only drink you take. And he takes the bottle from you, Peter. Like,
Oh
not
my God.
forcefully. He's like, can I have that?
Yes, you can have that.
He takes it and puts it on a high shelf.
I swear, I hate you.
I'm doing this for your own good, and because I'm your friend. And also because I kind of like this job and would like to continue working. Even though I literally fucking died.
So we're not. Don't worry, I have a backup for that now. All right, don't worry.
For me dying?
For anyone dying.
Good to know.
Do you? No, I'm serious. Do you?
I mean, I might have looked through some of the tomes I might have skimmed through some tomes over at the market the other day. Might have picked up a couple things. Wink, wink.
You picked up something that can bring a dead person back to life.
Sure.
Okay. I'm just gonna try my best not to die.
Listen, you learn a lot in college, all right?
I would love to not die again.
Oh wait, hold on. I need to double check the spells. So don't take everything Peter says.
Okay,
for me.
he's half a
We're
glass
already
in,
sketchy
so...
enough
I'm
anyway.
like half a glass in. Just give me a break.
Should we maybe go at this point?
Yeah. He like downs the rest of the glass and like slams it. All right, let's go, guys.
Oh god, that was probably not good.
Don't worry, guys. I'll be fine.
Oh god.
Oh god. Right.
Jack, by the way, is wearing a suit that is made of a kind of it's like a baby pink color with a white button-down shirt underneath it. But the jacket is kind of longer and he doesn't have it buttoned up, and then he has a white carnation in the breast pocket. And his hair is up in a very intricate kind of braid.
I
And he
love
is-
my one fashion icon, Jack.
Jack. If you're gonna BRB, mute yourself to try. Oh, I think he's already gone. So you guys exit the tavern. Jack is kind of leading all of you, even though you are at this point familiar with the path to the palace. You kind of cut through the middle of town, where you can see that, for the most part, all of that hubbub and celebration that was happening from the previous night has kind of died down. There's still caravans scattered amongst the center square, where people are just camping out for the night, but for the most part, the only kind of celebration you can see are a few minstrels that are playing songs for no one in particular, and a couple of drunkards celebrating the end of the Gaelia festival in Grimoire. But you guys quickly make your way to the palace gate, where you are greeted by one of the guards, and he holds up his hand to kind of stop you and extends his hand. Welcome to Grimoire Palace. May I see all of your invitations for tonight's gala?
I'm just gonna say Peter hands them over since I think Peter has them all.
Yeah, no problem, sir.
Okay, so Peter... Yeah?
Did
Yep.
we say that we would meet Owl before we entered or after?
Oh, crap, you're right. Well, we can still hand our invitations over and then wait for him. So you guys hand over the invitations, and the guard nods and says, all right, if you're waiting for a friend, you can wait out here. But, of course, your friend will also have to present a invitation in order to follow you inside. So you guys wait a few moments, and then I assume Owl comes bumbling up the path.
That's the best way to describe it.
We just see this tower of a dragonborn just
yeah,
coming up
so-
on the horizon.
Owl comes walking up the way, and he is wearing quite formal outfit. I sent a picture earlier, a couple of weeks ago. It is sort of a military dress uniform. It is very, very dark blue, near black, sort of a belted waistcoat, double-breasted with a sort of built-in shoulder cape. There's a couple of medals pinned to the chest of the cape, and he has a ceremonial military saber on its side, completely useless as a weapon. It's literally just for military ceremony. And he has over his wide rectangle of a face an owl mask of an owl, sort of a horned owl, as well as under his arm a small, well, not really small, but sort of a wrapped package of sorts. It looks like a present.
Oh.
And Owl comes walking up and goes, "Oh, hey guys. Hey."
Hey, I'd recognize that dragonborn anywhere.
"Oh, yeah. Yeah, hi. It's me. Hello.
You are a sight for sore eyes, Owl.
Oh, thank you. How did you guys sleep?"
Best sleep I've gotten in years.
Cool. How was your day?
I was asleep for most of it.
Okay, so pretty much the same answer. Cool. Yeah. So this will be fun. I've never gotten to go to one of these things before. So this will be fun. Yeah.
Should be a great time.
Yeah. Oh, and he takes the gift wrapped present and hands it to Marin. Goes, this is thanks for the other day, for the fish. Thank you.
Aw.
Should I open it now?
Yeah, you can open it now. Yeah.
You see
Okay.
Nyx immediately lean his head in a little bit, and his eyes narrow the slightest bit, not with anger or anything like that, but more like, what is this?
Curiosity.
Yeah.
Okay, Marion unwraps the package as neatly as possible.
And inside, he finds a dull gray cloak with a light magical aura in it. If you remember, the one thing I went shopping for the last time, Owl says, "Yeah, it's this cloak of many fashions or whatever. It doesn't do protection or anything. But you can say some magic words, and it magically is whatever kind of fashion or style you want it to."
Marin had seemed kind of like surprised and like a little taken aback that he was receiving anything. And as Owl like explains and he himself realizes what it is, just like this huge smile starts to pull across his face.
Oh my god, Owl, you broke him.
Oh, I just that was thanks for the other day. You guys are really cool, and I think that we could be that we could be really good friends, and I I just really I like my friends, so
Owl. Hey. Can I hug you?
okay.
Okay. Nyx like pulls Owl into a hug. I think, how tall is Owl?
Owl
Taller
is
than
7.5 feet tall.
Okay. Holy shit. So I guess he's like hugging Owl's chest.
Pretty
'Cause,
much.
Nyx is only 6'3" or something.
There's the height references in the arts tab. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's right.
Oh,
right
shit,
about
wait,
at
I
his
forgot
chest.
about that.
Yeah.
That's right. And he's like,
Hey, that's really cool of you, dude.
Yeah, don't mention it.
Anyone who spoils Marin is a friend of mine.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't trying to spoil anybody. I was just trying. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's a good thing. No,
oh.
it's okay.
Talking with you.
Oh, okay.
That
Okay.
You
Thank you.
probably couldn't have possibly gotten him a more fitting present.
Oh.
God, you really pegged me immediately, huh?
you hear
Well-
Nyx laugh to himself.
I kicked Nyx in the shin without moving otherwise.
Hey,
I would just like to say, this is Nick's guttural reaction. Nick Nick's
yeah.
guttural reaction was the exact same reaction as
As NYX.
as
Same.
NYX's. So he said, you pegged me immediately. I was like, that's fucking hilarious. But no, that went right over Al's head.
Nyx is like,
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You just seem to like clothes a lot. And so I thought this could be like a cool accessory. I'm not really good at like fashion or whatever. So but I thought it's somebody who is could use that. You know.
hey, you cleaned up pretty nicely, dude.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. These are my military dress. You know, for ceremonies and stuff. So, I haven't had to wear it for a while. So it's thankfully it still fits. It's a little tight around the stomach. But you know, it is what it is.
You get those medals from a war?
Um.
oh, that's a good question.
Peter.
Yeah,
You get those
well,
medals from a war.
Yeah.
What,
Those
you
medals
write
from a
book
war?
or something?
Well, I mean, no,
Although I guess this is a DM question. There really hasn't been a war in like the last
In Owl's
There-
lifetime.
in Owl's time. No.
Yeah, in Al's lifetime, the biggest like war that's happened obviously was like the fall of Alphane, which is not in Al's lifetime.
No. Yeah. So
not in war, just some you know, skirmishes and border patrol and things like that. One of them's for valor in the line of duty or something. It's basically if you get hurt in battle and don't die, you get one. So that's what that one is.
So it's a participation award?
Yeah, but like one where if you like get
Extra
stabbed,
participation.
yeah. if you get stabbed, you get one of these medals and you don't have to go back. So like that's
Shit, where's my
Like, for
medal?
some-
My college just give me
for some
ass.
people.
Yeah,
For
that's
some people, that people's really good. I don't know. That was just one of them though.
It's interesting compensation for you being like stabbed. It's like
Well,
here's a
I'm-
piece of metal.
Well, I mean, you obviously get paid and whatnot. Well, I mean, it's just to show that like you willing to give something. I don't know. I stayed anyway. It's really just a formality, sort of like a honorable discharge or
I
whatever.
hate to
you know.
interrupt, but can we please go to the ball now? I've been
Alright,
waiting
relax,
for
Jack. Relax,
this for
Jesus.
a week.
Oh yeah, no,
Alright.
I'm sorry. I got.
No,
it
it's
got away
okay.
from
I
me.
understand. I did Al probably met Jack last time, right? Like
Mhm.
when they were leaving. Okay, so I thought like it's wonderful to see you again. I
Yeah.
really want to be inside and mingling with people
Yeah.
and dreams. Yes,
Yeah.
and dancing. So
Yeah. Let's go do that.
okay.
While they've been
Jackie
having
was a
this whole
real diva.
conversation, Marin has unpinned the cape that he previously had on, which is like the dark purple one, and pinned the new silver one on instead.
Adorable.
And then he just like pins the old one on Nyx
Oh,
because he's there
okay.
and he doesn't want to lose it.
Yes. And that cloak, it is quite literally, if you focus on it or quote unquote say the magic word, however you want to flavor it, you can change the style and fashion of the cloak. It can change colors, it can change trim style, it can change technical form. It doesn't affect any sort of armor class or
Oh, awesome.
like disguise. It doesn't give any bonuses. It's just for fans.
So it doesn't change all of the clothes, it's just the cloak.
Yeah, just the cloak. So it basically can
that's so
match
cool.
with whatever you're wearing or flare
Okay.
anything.
So
Yeah.
Marin focuses on it for a minute and makes it an even fancier dark purple cloak with like really intricate gold trim. It's like velvet.
As you do that, Nyx kind of shakes his head, but you can tell kind of underneath the mask he's smiling. He goes,
It looks good on you.
Oh, thank you. I look good in everything.
Yeah, okay. It's hard to compliment you.
I'm kidding. Thank you, Al. Alright, let's go.
Jess is
before
already
Jack kills
walking
us.
with Jack towards the thing. Like, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Al
did you
was-
say
Al was heading up
L
too.
or owl?
Owl.
Okay,
Thank you, Owl.
got you. Yeah, so they're already like heading towards the gate.
We
So
gone.
the guard holds his hand out to you and goes, "Invitation, sir?"
Oh, yep. Here you go.
Yes, this all looks in order. Enjoy your evening. You can all enter through the gate, and there will be a short path through the garden, and then you can enter through the front entrance.
Thank you.
Of course. He knocks a couple times on the wood of the gate, and the two giant gates open up, and you walk into this beautiful, like basically hedge maze of a garden. And wait, I'm sorry. Real quick, Jez, did you leave?
Yeah. Me and Jack, we're going to party.
Oh, you're at the party. Okay, you guys are just like a little bit ahead of the.
Okay.
We just see them like sprinting forward a bit.
Yeah, they're,
Jess
like,
is
already-
probably in heels, probably not, but like, okay.
Also, this garden is like there seems to be like small flickers of light, and it's actually like it's almost like fireflies, but they don't seem to be. When you look closer at them, they just seem to be like small sparks that will float up and then kind of die out.
Dancing lights, if you will.
Yeah, dancing lights, exactly. So, you guys kind of make your way through the garden. There's a large fountain, and a statue in the garden as you go. The statue is of a tall woman who is wearing very fancy robes and has a crown on her head. And if you leaned into the inscription, you would see that this is the original Queen Palace.
and she stands just before the staircase that leads up to the entrance of the actual palace itself, where there are 2 more people waiting to greet you. And one of the servants kind of bows as he greets you, and he goes, "Welcome to Her Majesty's palace. Would you like to be introduced as you enter?"
I think.
For us to be introduced to everyone else?
Yes, as in I will announce that your arrival.
Oh, you don't have to worry.
Yeah, I think we'll be good.
We should be fine, thank you.
Yeah.
Our reputation
We'll make our own introductions.
I would very much prefer that we do not do that, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. You see the guards, like, eyes kind of flicker, to Nyx for a second. And then he nods and opens up the door so that you guys can enter. This door is like, yeah?
Oh, as if I notice him do that, I immediately link my arm.
Okay. He's not really super subtle about it. He kind of like sizes Nyx up after Nyx speaks. And then he goes, "Very well." And this door that you enter through is basically like a big archway. And they're double French doors, so as he pushes it open, it's a frosted glass with this kind of ivy pattern going up it. And as you enter, you are immediately in this beautiful foyer that just expands into this giant ballroom. This is where the party is being hosted. It's all being hosted in the front of the palace. You can see off to your left and right, there are large staircases that lead to several other floors. And as you look up in this space, you can tell that there's at least 4 other floors of this palace. But they all kind of have like a balcony. It's kind of like if you've ever been to, well, I know that Nick's at least been to a theater, but if you've ever been to a formal theater, how there's a stage and then there's just like balconies of chairs around that stage. That's kind of what this setup looks like, except instead of a stage, obviously on the bottom floor, it's just a massive, like, dance floor. It's just a massive open space, and then at the very back of the room, there is a small raised platform where you can see a large throne. This place is pristine. It's probably the most beautiful place that any of you have ever been in your life. It's entirely made out of white marble. There is gold adornments on the architecture, and other than a few long tables along the sides of the room where there are clearly refreshments being offered, everything else is just a wide open space, and you can see dozens of other attendees in these big, intricate ball gowns, all of which swaying to this soft music that is being played by an orchestra that is off to the side. Their instruments all white and gold to match the interior of this room. It's bright and beautiful and full of life, and it makes you feel a little poor just being in the room. You guys kind of glance around, but there is, from where you can tell right now, there's no obvious sign of Ace. But the other attendees are a variance of humans, elves, half-orcs, halflings, gnomes. It seems to be a still pretty diverse mixture of fantasy races. And all of them are dressed in formal regalia and masks. So,
I was gonna ask if I was the only one under 4 feet.
You are not the only one under 4 feet. There seems to be a few other attendees that you can tell that are of shorter races.
Thank God.
They are definitely sparse, I would say, but you know from being in Grimoire for like nearly a year now that the higher there are some actual noble families in Grimoire that are halfling.
Oh, I see.
So that like Grimoire's population is heavily gnomes and halflings, and so it actually tends to be a more heavily populated shorter races.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Okay.
But yeah, what would any of you like to do something like right off the bat? Because otherwise, I'm just gonna launch into like other stuff that I have pre-planned.
I think just
I don't
go
think
for
so.
What was that, Wiz?
I said I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay. So, you guys are kind of caught up in the atmosphere of this place. It's kind of also reminiscent of, I'm gonna say, Hogwarts in the Great Hall, in a sense of like there's a lot of those same kind of glowing lights, like dancing lights, that are just hovering around and illuminating this room instead of just like a bunch of candlelight. You actually recognize that off to the side of the performers is that elf that was performing fireworks outside, except he is in a much more formal attire than he was for the festival. He's no longer wearing his brightly colored festival outfit. He's wearing more so of a three-piece suit. He matches the orchestra, so it's white and gold. He has his long black hair kind of tied up in a long braid that goes off his shoulder, and he's the one who's kind of playing with these lights all around the room. And watching from where he stands, the atmosphere is almost dreamlike. It feels very floaty and regal, and after a little while of being here, everything that was happening outside of this room, the stuff that you just endured, and all of the problems that you encountered, even the embarrassment of last night, kind of melt away as you are swept into this completely new community of people where everyone is just so elegant and refined, and they're dancing as if everyone has been taught the same dance for their entire life. Nyx extends his hand to you, Peter. Not Peter, sorry, Marin. I was reading Peter's name on the paper. Nyx sends his hand to you, Marin. After a while of just kind of surveying the room, and he's like, "Well, I know it hasn't been that long since we danced at this point, but let's take advantage of it." Marin? Okay.
Marge smiles at him and takes his hand.
Oh, we'll see you guys in a little bit, I'm sure.
Oh, okay. Bye. Have fun.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Do everything I would do.
Oh, those are conflicting statements.
Just,
Do what
just
you
be
need to do,
safe.
Mr. Lee or Mr. Life.
Just be safe and have fun, kids. I guess. Sorry, that was.
Thanks. No, thank you, Owl.
Oh, it's okay.
We certainly will.
Okay. Bye.
So Nyx kind of sweeps Marin away. And they are really, like, as you guys kind of watch them melt into the crowd of other dancers, they're really good dancers. I know it wasn't like really happening that Jez and Peter were like hiding in the fucking bushes while Nyx gave his pendant to Marin, but like the way I described that, they were more so like goofing off in the woods. This is like, it's almost as if like in an instant Nyx and Marin go from these kind of goofy idiots, Nyx being an idiot, Marin being the brains, and they almost seem to fit in with this kind of crowd, which is interesting because what you know about them is that they didn't really come from any kind of distinguished background. They were circus performers. But they join this crowd of people as if it's the most natural thing in the world to them.
Aren't they just a lovely couple?
Oh,
Would
are
you
they
agree, Al?
together?
Oh, you know what?
I guess. I
Unfortunately
honestly
not.
didn't think about it. I mean, yeah, they are.
Oh,
I
I
ju- that
didn't know they were together either.
yeah.
I don't think they are yet, unfortunately. I
Oh,
think they're still too stupid
man,
to
you know what they
actually
say.
Is it one of those
invest.
situations? Is it one
You know
of
what they
those,
say? Just
like,
two guys being dudes, you know?
That's no, Peter. That's
Ancient proverb.
Peter.
Ancient proverb. Just two guys being
Proverb.
dudes, you know?
Two bros.
Two-
In the original Greek,
Yeah.
Hades once said,
In the ancient
"What
tongue.
is better than this? Two guys who would."
Oh my god.
But they look great. They look great together.
Yeah, they do. I just hope they're happy. I've seen that kind of nobody says anything about what's happening between two people, and it doesn't usually go well. So
Honestly,
just hope
this
they're
is
happy.
probably the happiest I've seen the two of them in a while.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I would say after everything they've been through with what just happened and all,
Mhm.
it's probably, this might be a little bit of a relief for them.
Yeah. Speaking of relief, where's that waitress?
Okay,
Peter.
so
Slurp.
Peter, I'm gonna actually use that.
Oh. Oh no.
You
It's
say where's
happening.
that waitress and kind of spot one. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
You spot one kind of off to the side, more so lingering near where those tables I told you were, because there are, as I said, like basically hors d'oeuvres set out for anybody who needs a small meal.
Mhm.
And they have glasses of what looks to be champagne, but like medieval.
Medieval champagne.
Medieval champagne. Champagne exists.
It can just be champagne. Champagne.
I don't know
I
the
hate to
history.
break this to you, you guys. Most alcohol has been around for a really goddamn long time.
I don't know literally anything about. So
I
anyway.
don't either. And
Since the
feel
dark
that-
days, we've always had booze.
Anyway, she's holding. It looks to just be like a young woman. And she's holding a tray of champagne flukes. And so you kind of make your way over to. I assume kind of tap her on like the side, and you're like,
Mhm. Excuse me, young miss. I might need a couple of those actually.
absolutely, help yourself.
Awesome.
She offers you the tray. How many do you take?
I'm taking one in each hand. I am double fisting.
Okay. Okay,
And
hold on.
and Owl leans over to Jez because we're basically the only two standing, just watching him going, is he
Okay, I know that the other day you said that this was just like kind of like a party state, but I really feel like somebody's got a drinking problem.
No,
I'm just
I, we're gonna we're gonna have a long conversation about this.
he just finished one. That was one. And he's done with it
Uh,
already. Jen, I'm
Peter,
worried.
the waitress kind of looks at you wide-eyed, Peter.
Mhm.
But you hear a voice pipe up behind you as you kind of empty this flute.
Right.
And she goes, "Oh, is one of those for me? You're too kind."
What? I turn around.
You turn around and there is another halfling standing behind you.
Ah,
How
yes.
long?
It's been a while. Oh, crap. I have my notes.
No,
I remember the name.
it's-
Oh, it's someone new.
It
Never mind.
is no one you've met before.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
You don't recognize, at least like, even with her mask, this doesn't seem like anyone you've met before.
Hmm.
She has long brown hair, but it's intricately braided up in this elegant hairstyle. Her gown is simple, but definitely luxurious. It's made of long green velvet. It's like a deep forest green. And the back of it is like a deep scoop. And her mask is like a striking silver. It is solid silver, but it's very intricately carved and decorated with signs. And she goes, enjoying yourselves a bit much already?
Well, as the old saying goes, when in Rome, do as the Romans. When in high society, do as high society does. And I'm assuming this is what most of high society does, as he takes a sip from his champagne flute.
I'll drink to that. She takes a flute off the tray and drinks about half of it. And kind of nods her head towards you. She goes, I don't think we've met before.
No, I don't believe we have. She's a halfling, right?
Yeah.
It's rare to find. I wasn't aware that many halflings mingled amongst high society. I've always been taught that we were simple folk. But the name's Tea Leaf, Peter Tea Leaf.
Penny, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Penny.
She extends her hand and kind of, like, she, like, takes it, but she doesn't, like, shake your hand. She, like, kind of curtsies a little.
Right.
She goes, now... Awful. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to get through this. Now, I know you're a bit busy, but perhaps when one of your hands is free, you join me for a dance?
I would certainly love to join you for a dance.
Excellent.
Peter downs the rest of his.
She also downs the rest of
Let's go!
puts it on the tray, and she lets you lead her to the dance floor. You guys don't really have a lot of trouble. The people here are... It's not like a packed room. There are a lot of other people here, but it's such a big room that you have, like, your own space to kind of dance with each other. And she falls into... While everyone else seems to be kind of dancing to more of, like, a traditional waltz, she kind of leans into more of that like halfling style of dancing, where she's more so doing like partner dancing. So she has like what's it freaking called? It's almost like square dancing, but I can't remember
A
what
hoedown?
it's specifically called. No, she's
It's
not,
not a hoedown.
I think it's honestly called do-si doing, but it's like when you have your hand up against someone and you're like
Hmm.
walking in circles around each other.
Right.
So like
Might
it's
be a
more
Ren Fair
promenade or
thing. The
something.
thing we do at the Ren Fair.
yeah, promenade. Yeah, like Ren Fair dancing. It's more of a like jovial dance and less of a dance.
Right.
And you like coming from the family that you come from, like how many say that Peter has like a
How many
few,
what?
right? He
How
has
many
like
what?
siblings, right?
Oh, siblings? He's got like, I'd say like 5.
Okay,
Big
so
family.
yeah, like a big family. So that's what I imagine. Like
He is one of
It-
6.
okay, so like it's kind of part of halfling culture, I would say, to be like in big groups, and so you're always kind of like you always have like a partner to dance with. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's more a group dance and less of a duo dance.
Right.
But since it's only the two of you, it's kind of like your own duet version
That's
of it.
nice. Yeah, this is nice though.
Yeah. So as you dance with her, she smiles underneath her mask. She has you notice that she has these really pretty emerald colored eyes that seem to kind of twinkle with amusement as they dance together. She goes, Tea Leaf, I'm quite surprised I haven't met your family before. I would think I recognize such a wonderful dancer among this crowd.
Oh well, we hail from Haven. It's not too often we come around these parts, but I think you've caught me at a disadvantage. I believe you said Penny, but I didn't quite catch your family name.
Penny's good enough, I think, but you said Haven. I'm
Indeed.
also from Haven, so
Is that
that's even
so?
more curious that I haven't heard of your family before. There's not as many halfling families there as here.
Well, we're but of the simple merchant class. We say we're from Haven, but because of our occupation, we rarely ever get to stick around much in town. We're off doing other things, trading and shipping, things of that nature.
Oh, so how did you find yourself invited here?
Oh well, let's
Your
just say.
family owns ships?
Yes, my family does own ships. We have a few connections with some of the trading families here. Me, particularly, I guess you could say I'm a bard by trade, so I might have sang a few songs, caught a few ears. One leads to the other, and eventually you get invited to a lovely little gala we have here.
A bard, you say? I'd love to hear you perform sometime.
Well, perhaps I'll sing for you one day, Miss
Did
Penny.
you perform at the festival?
I did not. I did not have the chance to
Make a
spend much
deception
time. Fuck. Make a deception roll, you said?
Yep.
Alright, well, it's a good thing I have expertise. Okay. I will. 20 plus
You're good.
9. Boom! Yes, let's go!
Did you crit?
Let's
you
go.
did. That's really good. I rolled an 18 on her insight.
You can't see me!
God, she smiles and she's like, it's a shame. I'd love a private performance at some point. she kind of twirls closer to you and like is now more so like instead of dancing kind of with you and next to you, she's like has her hand on your waist and on one of your hand, like holding your other hand up, and is getting like kind of cozy.
Let's see. Give me one moment. Ponder this for a second. Ponder this information for a second.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna let this play out. This is nice. Peter's, you know, after everything that's happened, the debacle of last night, Peter's just like, you know what? This is nice. I'm not gonna think too deep on this. This is nice. So that's Peter's mindset right now.
Okay. Make a perception check.
God damn it!
No, you're good.
I hate you.
Perception.
Don't you?
No, it's fine.
Don't you? 11.
Okay.
I hate you.
Yeah, so she dances. Forget about it. So she's dancing rather close to you, and she's kind of like has that like almost like a smirk on her lips. As the music. I'm not gonna try and coordinate this with this soundtrack that is playing, but like
Nice
the music kind
though.
of fades. Thanks. Fades to a quieter lull as this song comes to an end, and she doesn't quite part from you as the band seems to tune their instruments to start the next song. And she kind of looks around and she's like, did you want to go somewhere else, maybe talk and get to know each other better? After all, like you said, there aren't many halflings around.
I am going to now I'm getting skeptical. Peter's getting a little skeptical. I'm going to insight check just to see if I can tell if something's up.
Okay.
Please, God damn it! Alright, nothing's up. Nah.
Okay.
Nothing's up at all.
You kind of like study her for a second and kind of like, what is she like? Who is she? What does she want from me? Like, we literally just
met here. I might be a little bit drunk, but we just met here.
Yeah. But you're 2 champagne glasses in and whatever, half a glass of whatever the fuck you had at the, and you know, she seems nice.
She's nice.
She's pretty enough.
Yeah.
And it's been a long month for Peter.
Well, listen, I deserve something nice. Alright, I deserve something nice. I've been through a lot the past few months. So you know what? You know what, Miss Penny? Yes, I could do for some fresh air. I could do for a nice conversation.
Right. I'm sure there's one of these rooms that we can go off to and, you know, chat. So she backs away from you, but kind of hooks her arm around your arm and starts to lead you into the back where there are rooms. There are guards around, but they don't seem to mind that you're kind of straying from the main ballroom as much.
Guys, I'm scared. I'm scared. Guys, help me.
I'm gonna jump to someone else real quick. Jez.
Oh my god.
Yes,
so
here I am. Hello.
I also have to pee really bad.
Emily.
I need to stop drinking tea while we do these things, even though it's Tea&D and I should be allowed. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna, like, 5-minute break, everyone.
5-minute break.
If you need to use the bathroom, go use the bathroom before I jump into what Jez is happening. If you want to get a snack, get a snack.
Boom, it's happening.
I'm not gonna torture myself right now.
Okay.
No, we still have a little while.
Yeah.
Please go pee.
Do, do, do.
Okay. We went on a bathroom break. That's what happened to Troy.
Word.
You were
I
like,
think
I have
we're
to go
all
to the
here.
bathroom, and I was like, I also have to go to the bathroom. So we're back though. I don't know. I think everyone is here.
I think everyone is here,
Yep.
unless Nick is not here.
I don't know if Nick went to use the bathroom or something. But I'm not addressing Al directly here, so I think we should be okay.
He's safe for now.
Yeah, he's safe for now. Okay, so anyway, Jez.
Yeah, it's me.
You've been kind of just chatting with Al and Jack. Jack is kind of standing off to the side and more so like it's almost like he's less excited to be here to dance and more so excited to commentate on all the different so he okay. So he's like chatting your ear off about like what this freaking half-orc is wearing and like his red coat and what it's made out of. When you feel a similar sensation to the sensation that you felt when you were beckoned into the tent. And a chill kind of runs down your spine. And you feel your gaze drawn to this figure. They're standing amongst the dancers and staring straight at you. They seem to be wearing something a bit similar to you. It's a very long white gown. But the bottom of it is tinted blue, and you realize quickly that it seems as if frost is what's decorating the bottom of their dress. And they are wearing an intricate white wolf mask. You feel, as you lock eyes with this figure, you feel almost this pull inside you.
Like standing in, sorry, clarify something real quick. Standing in the middle of the dancers, like people are going like around them?
Yeah. People are dancing around them, but no one seems to have taken notice of them.
Cool.
Do you see somebody, Jez?
I don't know. Do you see the person in white in the wolf mask?
No, you do not.
I figured. Okay, cool.
No.
Al does not see the figure when you go to look.
Yeah, I figured that was gonna happen. Great, cool. We're going crazy, y'all. No, then
Cool.
it must have been a trick of the light. It's, I think I'm gonna go grab some water or something like that. Do you guys want anything?
I could go for like a glass of water.
Jack? You've been going a mile a minute about,
What's that? Water? No, I'm fine. I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Sure.
And,
Bye.
Jez, like, squeezes Jack's arm, I guess, because they've probably been, like, I think they've still got their arms hooked. Jez actually enjoys Jack's company quite a bit, and, moves off, kind of like, God, I feel like this is a movie cinematic moment where you just, like, move around the people dancing. Like, is this a trick of the light? No? Okay, this is an actual person. How's best to get there without this being the most awkward shit ever?
Al, as you kind of, like, watch Jez walk off, it takes a moment, and then, you're not paying too close of attention, because it's not like you're worried about Jez get walked. But, you kind of blink for a moment and glance around, and you can't really see where Jez walked off to. It's kind of like they disappeared into the crowd.
Got it. Got it.
You don't think too much of it, though, and you don't really have a chance to think too much about it, because Jack has, in the absence of his friend, moved closer to you and is now gabbing you what everybody is wearing.
Wait, say again?
Jack is gabbing your ear off about, like, what everybody's wearing and talking about how much he loves it and, like, stuff like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I expected.
I'm entirely sure what a petticoat is, but yep, it looks cool.
I
Jack
love
was
you.
so excited to explain what a petticoat is.
So much. So good.
But Jez, as you approach this figure, it's kind of almost like you have tunnel vision.
Yeah.
You just walk in a straight line towards this figure, and it just seems as if the people moving around you just completely avoid you.
Ooh.
And they haven't even crossed in between you and this figure since you spotted the figure.
Interesting. All right.
As you near the woman, you again feel kind of like a chill. Almost as if being near her is, like, near the air around her is cooler than the rest of the room. And the music kind of fades into a more muffled background noise. And as you walk up to the figure, you realize upon closer inspection, it's a woman in a very intricate white gown, and she has long white hair that has two small thin braids coming down the front.
Ooh.
And long pointed ears as she extends a hand towards you without saying a word.
Oh wait, I think I might know who this is. Jez takes the hand and offers, like, a curtsy.
The woman also kind of curtsies. She bows her head slightly and takes your hand and begins dancing with you in the same manner as the other guests are, in a very sweeping classic waltz.
Yeah.
And as she speaks, her voice is almost like it's strange. It feels a little detached, like almost as if her voice is echoing a little, or if it has like a chime to it, like bells almost. And the first words she says are, "Minori has spoken to you."
You might want to ask her about her manners next time. She didn't introduce herself, but she was otherwise quite hospitable.
The figure kind of smiles and laughs very lightly, and she goes, she's never been one for wasting time with introductions. A bit of a drama queen, if you ask me. But then again, who am I to talk?
We all know at least one.
She's led me to you, lost one. And you to me.
And you are?
There will be a time that comes when I will come to you with questions bared, answers bared. And you must ask the right question. Now is not that time, but I wanted to see you. What do you feel right now? And as she asks this, Jez, you kind of feel... You've always felt this kind of almost like unanswered question tugging at the back of your mind. It's your goal. It's the thing that has driven you to this journey that you're on. Kind of this unknown sensation. And even though you are skilled at the magic that you practice, it always felt like an effort to kind of reach into yourself and pull that magic out. Like you were drawing it directly from the prime material plane and weren't really... It was on your own accord, if you kind of understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But as you dance with this woman, you feel almost like a spark inside you. It's not really... It feels like a breath of cold air, filling your lungs, and it feels refreshing, and it fills you with this sense of power, but not in a strength way or a ambitious way. In power in the sense of, for the first time in honestly your entire life, you feel connected to that magic in you. And you feel a connection to this person in front of you. And as you feel this sensation, you kind of feel that her hands against yours are frigid.
Well? I find myself at a crossroads.
How so?
If you'd asked me 10 minutes ago, I would have told you that I'm not quite sure I want to be here. That I'm here only because my friends are here, and I would hate to put one of my best friends' hard work to clean me up to waste. But on a whole, there are lots of ways to complete a task, I guess, and I'm not sure which one is the way I'm supposed to be going. And it appears that one more road has just been added.
I can help you. You're closer to your answer than you may think. Promise me something. I will come to you again soon, and I hope that you will recognize me. When I do, you need to be prepared.
For?
With the right questions and knowing exactly what you want. Can you do that?
I will do my best to be. That's all I can promise.
I look forward to our next meeting. And this is the only way that I can give you exactly what you want. You feel kind of like a cold shock, not like painful, just kind of surprising, to the palm of your hand, and it causes you to recoil and draw your hand into your chest, and as you do so, you feel kind of this like dizzy sensation, and she takes your remaining hand that you did not recall and kind of spins you, and after she spins you, she's gone. And you are standing in front of the drink table, and there's a waitress kind of looking at you, and she's like, "Excuse me, are you okay?"
Just like slowly lowers the hand that's by their chest and like everything's fine.
As they do that, they feel kind of a weight in that hand.
Okay. Yeah, I think just a little overwhelmed by the opulence of everything. Do you have water amidst all of the sparkling alcohol?
Yes, it's self-serve, fortunately, but there's some on the table. There's a pitcher you can pour yourself some from.
Perfect. Thank you. Sorry to worry you.
No, I just wanted to make sure that you were all... You look a little shaken up.
It's nothing. And Jess is already walking away as end of this conversation is happening.
Okay. Very good.
And
so
2 glasses of water later.
Yeah. Jez returns, I guess, to Owl.
Yeah.
Jez, as you kind of like open your hand.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, they're kind of like back with the Jack and Owl, who are still probably being chattered, who's still probably being chattered at, and is
Yeah.
standing like a step and a half behind them to like look at whatever's in their hand.
Okay. There's what is basically a handful of objects. Make a Arcana check.
Okay. Oh boy. Not great. Not great. 11.
Okay. With that, you're not quite sure what these ones in particular do, but you recognize these from your druid circle as runes.
Oh, okay. Alright. Nice. So I just have a handful of small rocks. Great.
Basically. They feel very cold to the touch.
Nice. Okay. Are they like crystal gem type? Precious
They
semi-precious?
themselves aren't crystals, but it's kind of like a geode almost.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh. Sorry, I don't know if I was breaking up there, but it's basically like it looks like a geode almost, where it's like it looks like a rock, but there are like veins, kind of bluish color to it, like a bluish gemstone like color to it.
Okay.
And you have a handful of about, I'd say 9 of them.
Huh.
I think that's correct. Oh, no, wait. Okay. God, there are loud people in my hallway again. Okay. So you return to Owl and Jack.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to God that Jack was smart enough to give me some sort of dress-appropriate purse or something to tuck my fancy rocks into now.
Did they not have water?
Oh, no, I brought you a cup.
Oh, I missed that. Sorry.
You're good.
It's okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Owl.
Jez probably looks a bit dazed, I would say.
Is everything okay?
Oh yeah, took a turn about the room. Saw several. There's a lot going on. Everything's
Yeah.
fine.
I know. Yeah, it's pretty crazy in here. I'm not usually good with crowds, so.
Just as you say that, Owl, you hear a kind of gruff voice that rings a faint bell, but definitely isn't one that you've heard fairly recently, and you hear, is that Chesterfield's boy?
Huh? What? Huh?
You kind of look around and and then you look down and realize, there's a human, like a human man talking to you. He seems a bit like grizzled. He has a brown beard, but it's turning gray. And he has also markings, scars and markings, signs that he's been in some battles in his time. And he's wearing practically the same kind of outfit as Owl, but probably more of a water-oriented one, like the Navy. And he, even though he's smaller than Owl because of racial differences, he's built, he's very strong and definitely one of those old military guys who has tattoos on their biceps that they make dance and like that. He goes,
Hello.
I'll be, it's Owl. Don't you remember me?
Ah.
Make a
Eh,
let's go with make a history check.
All right, I believe I'm proficient.
I'm just gonna say history because you're
am.
like digging into your memory a little.
Ooh,
I love my little soldier
17
boy.
plus 3, 20.
20. All right. You do recognize this. This is he wasn't in the same like battalion really as your father, but he trained with your father. So he is an old war buddy. His name is General Kaiman Harrier.
A general? So is he a army man?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Oh, General Harrier. Hello.
How you doing, kid?
And I'll give him the salute, whatever that
He
is.
salutes you back and like at ease.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, sir. I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, you know. Haven't been out of I've been out of commission for a while, but you know that comes with old age sometimes. Luckily, they're still inviting me to these fancy parties so that I can linger with the youth, I guess.
Okay.
Sorry, but it's been a while. You were still in early training.
Yeah, it has been a while. Yeah, I got discharged a while back, 'cause of my arm. But it was good, you know.
I'm sorry to hear that. How's your family?
Oh, they're doing good. Dad's been settling back in pretty well. We got the farm, so we're back up to snuff. We've been expanding a little bit. Mom's been doing better. Um, she can run errands again. But she's been running errands more in town, so she's been doing a lot better. Yeah, the things are, thing, so things are looking up.
That's real good to hear. That's good. Your mom's always been such a nice lady. You
I
know,
think
your
so.
dad. He was always talking about wanting to start a farm after he got off duty. So good to hear that he's coming through with that.
Yeah, yeah.
You're spending a lot of time around Haven nowadays, right?
Yeah, more or less.
What do you think about all these? He kind of lowers his voice a bit. What do you think of all these disappearances happening?
The what?
Oh,
Dis-
you haven't
disappearances?
heard?
Oh no. What?
There's a few ships have gone missing in the Whaling Sea.
What?
Yeah, they've had to crack down on some of the ins and like the people coming in with imports. They've had to really increase security checks on coming in and out because I don't know. Last time I heard, there was at least 2 ships. Their entire crew's just gone.
Oh jeez. Ugh.
I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. But I guess they are keeping it kind of low.
Yeah. I'm also real out of the loop on like everything. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess you are busy with your family and stuff like that. Uh,
Mhm.
I just happen to have a buddy of mine. We were out drinking, and he was friends with one of the gals who went missing.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, it's a real shame. I mean, it's
Yeah.
insane. There's no trace of him. It's not like, it's one thing if they're sinking to the bottom of the ocean, but it's another thing for just a for them to up and vanish with no trace, no word.
Yeah. Jeez, that's crazy.
Yeah, there might be. I don't know if it's some kind of like pirates or whatever, but it's been a long time since.
Like some kind of like spooky pirates, like stealing ships pirates.
Yeah, maybe. That's all I can really think of being the cause of something like this, but it's quite a feat for even a pirate to just like
That's true. Have to be
take
like
an entire
have
ship
have to
and
be
leave
like
no trace of anyone
really,
who.
really good pirate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they'd have to be a really good pirate, buddy.
Yeah. I'm
Maybe
sorry for not really contributing. I'm just learning about a lot of this, so
That's-
sorry, sir. I'm trying my best.
Oh, you don't need to apologize to me. You know, I only heard it because of circumstances. There seems like the militia are trying to keep it real low. The Crown's Guard and all that. You know, they don't want to cause a panic or anything. And they also don't want anybody getting any idea about how vulnerable we are. Not that I'd say we're vulnerable, but you know, we don't have any clue what's happening. So
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
to
that makes sense.
break in on this conversation.
Oh, hello.
Yep, still here, buddy.
hello.
Jezebel. Pleasure.
Nice
And
to meet you, Jezebel.
Jez holds out
did-
a hand.
You a friend of Owl's? He shakes it with like a big, like firm handshake.
Not what I was expecting. Okay. Recent acquaintance. We're taking some time to get to know each other better.
Well, that's real nice. Al here's a real upstanding kid. Like, I've known his dad for years. We go way back, you know. Trained for the war together. The war that never really came. Trained in the military together, and you know, I still see him sometimes when I come into town. And he's just like rambling to his like life story.
Just nods a little bit, like it's like, and then it's like, could it not to go back to the previous conversation just a moment? Could it not be that they're getting to whatever their destination is and then simply staying there?
Sorry, Jezebel, are you like a reporter or something?
No, simply curious. I also hadn't heard about this disappearances.
I don't know how much I can say to you about it, but if you're implying that they might just be stumbling across some land or something, well, friend, I sailed those seas for a little while when I took a break from, you know, the Crown's Guard, the land battalions. I know nothing about the army. I'm so sorry that I'm British. I spent a little bit of time on the water. But we keep to pretty strict trade routes out there, so I can't imagine why they would stray from those routes. And furthermore, I don't know why they'd find land and then, you know, stop there. It's not like explorer ships are going out there. It's merchants. It's people who are trying to sell their goods across the sea.
Yeah, across the sea. I mean, couldn't they just be going across the sea and...
Well, then we would be getting reports back of the merchant's arrival from our friends over there, but it's just like, you know, when someone goes out on an expedition, you expect to hear something back from them. It's not
No,
They would've
you're
told
absolutely right. I was being silly.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I mean, it's an interesting hypothesis, but I mean, like I said, I don't like keep this on the down low. I shouldn't really be saying this. You're a stranger, and I don't quite know why you'd be interested in this information. But like I said, they're just disappearing without a trace. There's no word of anyone. Anyway. But you, Al, you say hi to your dad for me, and as well. Maybe I'll be back in Ormir sometime soon. We'll see. But yeah, you might, when you get back to Haven, you might wanna just, here's for some news about that, or maybe any kind of idea, cause people are, it's all family members, so it's kind of an issue.
Definitely, sir.
Yeah, you be a good boy.
I will try.
All right, I'm gonna go find a little bit more liquor to wet my whistle.
Okay.
Have a good night, Mel. You and your little friend here. It was nice.
Okay. Bye, sir. Bye.
Jez offers like another partial curtsy, dips Bob of the head, and
Gotcha. And this man kind of rambles off into the crowd.
He does that sometimes. I'm sorry.
oh no, I apologize for stepping in. It was a curious and fascinating conversation.
I never know what to say around him. Yeah, he's one of my dad's old friends, but he just talks so much. And I don't know what to do. So
Just listen.
So thank you.
You're okay. We all have somebody who just loves to talk, and Jez looks over at Jack.
Jack is.
Oh yeah, I guess Jack does do that too. But like,
Jack kind of like puts his hands on his hips and it's like, hey, I take a little bit offense to that. I'm just excited, I'm not normally so talkative.
That's what you
it's
say,
okay.
and then we sit down with the face masks and the wine.
It's different. You're the only person that I can do. You get what I'm talking about. Well, at least I think sometimes you get what I'm talking about. But you're always willing to listen, I appreciate you as a friend.
And while this like really light conversation between the two of them is happening, I was just darting his eyes between them, going,
I can, you guys want me to like go somewhere else? I don't want to interrupt what's going on here.
Just like wraps their arm through his Al's. Is absolutely not.
Al, I think you're misreading the conversation. Jez and I, we came here together as dates, but we're not.
God no.
Together. We're not like those
Ooh.
two, and they point off in the crowd. Where Nixon still very much.
No. I think you might have misunderstood. I just meant this conversation was getting personal, and it was.
Oh. Not at all. I'm sorry. I can go back to about what. Cause I just saw the most stunning gown in the corner, and gonna cut back to Peter.
Perfect.
Peter, so you are now with Penny. She's led you kind of to what seems to be. It's a small room. It's not. It seems to be like kind of a lounge room. It doesn't seem to really have like a function to it. It's just kind of a fluff room. So there's a fireplace off to the side that is not lit at the moment.
there's a few candles that are lit that are kind of illuminating this room. And as you enter, there is a elven woman who kind of standing off to the side, a very long cigarette, like one of those ones in the long holders, and she's in a red gown, and she kind of glances over at the two. Penny kind of stops and like giggles for a second, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, would you mind if we took the room for a little bit?" And the woman exhales a long breath of smoke before tossing her cigarette out the window and closing the window and sauntering out of the room. And then there is a long couch in the center of this room, and Penny kind of leads you towards it, letting you sit down before kind of scooting a little bit closer to you. So, tell me about yourself, Tea Leaf.
Oh, well... Oh, God. Alright. Alright, I gotta recompose myself. Well, as I've mentioned, my family are of the merchant class. They say our ancestry delves deep into fisher families, but we mostly trade in rare metals, jewels, and even sometimes with grimoire, with their few occasional dealings with the other countries. But I must say, I feel as I don't know much about you, Miss Penny.
Well, isn't that the fun of it? It's kind of like a little mystery, isn't it?
I suppose, but what's the words I'm looking for? It can only go one way for so far.
True. Okay. What would you like to know about me? She crosses her legs, and the like slit of her dress kind of falls back a little bit so that her legs are
Why do you gotta do this to me? Alright.
This is why I apologized at the beginning of the session.
No, it's fine. No, we're doing this. Alright. Well, so far all I know is that your name is Penny, and that you also hail from Haven. I guess the first question would be, what trade does your family deal with?
Let's see, how do I describe it? I would say we're more in the trading business. Trading or finances. Guess you could say my father, he deals with money a lot, and my mother tends to, well, who knows, I barely see her anymore.
What is this? Out of character. You said the disappearances were happening around which town again? Or which kingdom?
They are happening around Haven. Haven is the port town, so...
Okay. Yeah. Alright. Okay, so back in character. Pierce, I see. You know, I've heard of... It's been quite a long time since I've been back around the streets of Haven, but I've heard there have been some disappearances going on of late.
Oh? I wouldn't really know too much about that. All I can offer is maybe something that I've overheard at one of the taverns, but...
Oh, well, do tell. I'm as the Bard's College has always told us, taverns are always a prime source of information and rumors.
Oh. So, you'd rather know about rumors that I've heard than about me?
Oh, you've been very conservative about information about you, Miss Penny, and I would assume that it's not very gentlemanlike to pry too hard on a young lady's private life. By all means, do
Fair.
tell more about yourself, Miss Penny, as I'm
Oh,
very infatuated with what's going on here.
chivalry isn't dead. Well, I'll answer your question first. Let's see. From what I can recall, I did overhear that some people's relatives they haven't heard from in a while. But, you know, I really don't want to talk about that.
Fair, fair.
After all, I mean, we have this room to ourselves now, so if talking is really what you want to do, then we can. She puts her hand kind of like on Peter's thigh.
Oh, I hate this. I hate it so much. Oh.
I want the Peanut Gallery's commentary, please, on record.
Oh my god, Peter's gonna fuck.
I hate this. Don't fuck you.
You're welcome.
Fuck you, Wiz. I don't-
The age-old question.
Shut up, Al.
Does
I don't wanna
Peter?
hear-
Does it? No. This ain't Al. This is God. Does Peter fuck?
Fuck
This
you,
is-
God.
this is-
Peter fuck?
Does Peter fuck?
Does Peter
Um,
fuck? I can bring
Peter-
I'll just be another character. I'll be a new character.
As she puts her hand on your thigh, make a
Just say it. Just call it. Make a what?
perception check. Sorry.
Perception check.
Make a-
Okay.
Make a boner check, real quick.
Make a boner check.
God damn it.
Alright, let's do this. Okay, that's not bad. 18 plus 5. 23.
18, 23 boner.
23 boner.
Okay, so 23 boner. Peter fucks. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right there.
Um,
Right then and there.
Right then and there.
She kind of like leans in, and as she does so, you feel her other hand kind of go to your side.
Mm,
Um,
not my coin pouch.
but as she does this, you notice like you hear kind of a jingle sound, and you feel like weight being lifted from your side.
Oh. Listen, Miss Penny, if it's coin that you want for your time, then by all means, as I've said before, of the merchant class, we like to talk about our exchanges beforehand.
Are you? What?
She kind of looks at you and goes, I'm not looking for compensation. Where did you get that idea?
Oh, for whatever reason, my purse suddenly feels much lighter. I look down, and I'm assuming. Oh, alright. I look down. What do I see? Like, where are her hands? Where is she?
She kind of sits up again and like straightens herself, and she kind of glances at you a little bit tentatively as you see like her hand rest at her side again.
Mm.
And she goes, I don't know what kind of impression you have of me, but I'm not some harlot.
Oh, I never claimed you to be as such.
Well, Perhaps I misjudged the situation. Maybe I should go.
By all means, go forth. This will be a long evening as it is, so I would not be surprised if our paths would cross again.
Not if I can help it.
Out of character. I'm not getting pickpocketed. I am not losing all this hard-earned money that I worked so hard for.
I'm gonna say, she walks to the door and, like, does Peter go to check his pockets?
Oh yeah, Peter's definitely checking himself.
How much did he have on him?
That's a good question. 1,800, roughly.
1,800? Okay.
Yeah.
You're probably about, like, at least 100 GP lighter.
Oh, god damn it!
Already.
God.
And your harmonica's missing.
Fuck! My harmonica!
Is that a harmonica in your pocket, or are you just happy to?
Don't fuck with me, Owl. I swear to God, right now.
I'm not Owl. It's just some.
This is Nick.
Don't fuck with me, Nick. I swear to God.
That's so fucking.
Do you go after her, or do you let her leave?
You know what? Nah, I'll let her. I'll let her go. I'll let her go for now. In the meantime, I'm gonna find another waitress with another plate of champagne shoots.
Okay. I'm gonna try and speed run the rest of this real quick, but
yeah, no worries. Take your time.
Not too quickly. Marin and Nyx. The two of them have just been kind of dancing together this whole time. It's one of Nyx's favorite things to do with Marin is dance. Again, it comes very natural to the two of them. They are very easily caught up with the rhythm of the room, and they fit right in amongst the other dancing couples. Although, every once in a while, someone either misjudges the distance or something and maybe bumps into one of you. Both of you, between the two of you, you've received a glance or two from people who have either bumped into you or have just kind of glanced your direction and whispered something. But Nick seems to be ignoring that as he dances with his boy.
Marin likewise is maybe not doing it quite as well. He's definitely having a good time. But every once in a while he'll meet a gaze.
Hey, don't mind everyone else. We're here to have a good time, not to impress others.
I know.
And I don't care what everyone else thinks of us.
I know. Regardless, I think we are impressing this. So I wouldn't be too worried.
You know, I don't blame them for looking at us. We look really good. If I do say so myself.
I say so too.
Maybe I shouldn't have torn off the sleeves of this thing, though. Maybe it would have been better to...
You are so horribly persistent about not having sleeves. I don't know why I try at this point.
Marin, it gets hot.
I know. But still...
You, you came home, home. You got back pretty late last night. Was everything okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That guy wasn't, like, gross to you or anything, right? 'Cause,
No,
like,
no. He was fine.
Good, okay.
I'd let you know.
Yeah, I'd kick his shit in.
I'm aware.
I should probably be nicer about my language while we're in this nice. I feel weird saying that.
You know, probably. I think we're gonna get. Who cares?
Yeah.
Speak a little more into your mic, Wiz, because you break up a bit.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
I'm glad that wasn't too bad for you then. Have you... you and Ace seem to be getting on better again.
Yeah. He, weigh in. Chatted for a bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He apologized to you or something?
Something like that.
I mean, like again, I don't blame him for anything, obviously. Like, it was my fault for what happened.
No, it wasn't your fault for a second.
I mean...
Not you with me on that one.
I appreciate that, but... I beg to differ, but it's okay, because, like, I'm not mad at myself or anything like that. I honestly, not to be, like, a little cheesy or anything, like, I'm more upset that it upset you than the fact that I died, if that makes sense. I mean, maybe it's because I'm here now and I feel fine. I don't really feel any different than before it happened, but I also, like, I don't know how much I've processed it, you know?
Yeah. I figured.
It feels kind of like a dream.
That whole thing that
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Speaking of which, I asked you a question while we were walking to, like for your birthday, like, picnic that I set up. Like, it was kind of, like, sorry about that, by the way. I know it was rushed, and, like, I, like, I didn't really prepare a lot for it, but it was, unexpected. I didn't think that we had missed your birthday. I thought I was gonna have actual time to plan it and, like, have a party with, like, Jez and Peter and Ace and all them. But also, it wasn't exactly, like, a good time to party. But,
I enjoyed it. We had a fun. You don't have to worry about that. Oh
good.
dear God, I'm old.
Well, good then. I'm glad. But like I was saying, I asked you about what you said to me when you helped bring me back with Jack, and, like, you don't have to talk to me about it if you don't want to. And I know that this is the ideal place, but I don't think anybody's really like us. And you look really nice tonight, and I don't know. I don't want things to be weird between us. But like I don't know, the other guys like Peter and Jez and Jack and Ace, they all talk like you and I are more than friends. And I mean, I don't, you know, I'm perfectly happy being friends with you, like Marin. Like I'll always be your friend. But I was just kind of wondering if that's what you meant when you told me that you loved me.
Shut up, Detroit.
I again, you don't have to say anything. I don't want to be weird, and I nothing needs to change, you know. I know that I made a lot of mistakes at the circus and in the Evermore, and I failed you in a lot of ways. I failed myself too. But
No, you're a good boy. Don't worry about it. You're a good boy next. Don't worry about it.
Detroit.
Did someone say making comments when you're not around?
But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to let you know that I owe you so much, Marin. Not just because you helped save my life, because that's not the first time you've done that. I just want to make sure that you know, like, and still know that you mean so much to me. And when I said I love you too, I didn't have to think about it. It's just because it's something I'm always thinking. You know? But that can mean whatever you want it to mean. I've been talking for a really long time. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure what you want me to say.
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't really know what I want you to say either. I just kind of maybe like acknowledgement that you understand what I mean. You know, you don't have to say anything about how you feel or anything like that. But I just hope you understand what I'm saying.
I think I do. Not until I don't know.
That's okay. I'm sorry I brought it up here. It's not really the time or place. Forget I said anything. I'm sorry I put you on the spot.
No, it's fine. I'm sorry.
You don't have anything to be sorry about.
So as he says that, you suddenly like notice that other dancers are kind of clearing the dance floor. And as you look around to kind of gauge what's going on, this is something all of you, Peter, I assume you left that little nook room and rejoined. Yeah, you went to see it. You went to find a waiter. That's what you said.
Mm-hmm.
So all of you can see this because it's happening like in the open. One of the viziers like clears his throat and goes, "Would everyone please clear the floor for Her Royal Highness, Her Majesty Queen Elena Palace of the Castle Grimoire." And as they say this, a fairly young girl steps out. I have a photo of her, so I will toss that in story refs. Actually, should I put it? Yeah, I'll put in story refs. She seems to be like in her late 20s almost. Like she's surprisingly young. But you can kind of faintly recall that when Ace was talking about her before, that her mother passed away kind of unexpectedly. So she had to take the crown earlier than expected. But she steps out. Here she is. And she is wearing a gown that is in the royal colors of Myanmar, so that kind of deep navy blue color and lots of silver adornments with a large crown on her head. And she is clearly the most. It's a bit surprising because you'd expect her to be the most fashionable, like decked out person at this party, but other than the fact that she's wearing this giant gown, everything else on her is quite simple, like simple jewelry pieces, a simple hairstyle. Nothing about her really speaks like, look at me, I'm royalty. With the exception of the crown on her head. And as she steps out, you see Ace step out of the crowd, and he bows in front of her, and she curtsies to him, and he extends his arm to her, and she takes it, and they begin to waltz in the center of the room as everyone kind of watches, and like you can hear faint clapping as they dance around this room, and she kind of makes her official entrance as the queen. She's wearing a mask, but it's kind of a half mask. Kind of think like Phantom of the Opera style. But it is curved a bit to resemble a moon. And as she dances with Ace, you guys kind of, those of you who are familiar with Ace, notice that he seems different as he dances with the queen. You've never quite seen like the look that he has on his face, and it's a little hard to tell because the lighting is fairly dim here, and he's wearing a mask, but the look on his face is one of just unbridled admiration and affection towards this young queen. And she matches his expression with the same kind of tender gaze as they whisk around the dance floor. You hear people kind of whispering to each other about how good the queen looks, and like it's good to hear that she's in good health and see her participating, as she doesn't usually make a lot of public appearances anymore. And you hear a few whispers about Ace, and like most of them are just comments on like someone being like, who dance? That's just one of the militia generals. And they twirl around the dance room until the first song that she has come out to kind of concludes. And as this happens, she hooks her arm with Ace's, and he begins to kind of lead her around the room. After a small while, all of Nyx kind of like breaks away from Marin, in a sense of he's not actively dancing anymore, and he's like,
We should maybe find the others again. I feel like we kind of ditched them right away.
Marin?
Sorry, I forgot I was muted.
You're good.
Yeah, probably be a good idea.
Yeah, it's getting kind of late, I can imagine.
So he kind of like rejoins. He probably spots you, Owl, because you're monstrous.
Hard to miss.
He makes sure
I'm not
his way over to
monstrous,
you.
I'm just tall.
And he's like,
Hey guys, how's it been for
I've been good. I had a glass of water, and, yep.
Yeah.
I'm about 100 gold pieces lighter.
Oh man, did you buy
Right?
something?
Do I want to know why?
Let's just say, even high society has their share of gold diggers.
Okay.
Peter, I don't understand what you're saying, and I don't.
Did like,
Did you get
I didn't realize there were any, like, miners here.
That's
Did
not.
Did you pay a courtesan that wasn't me?
Consider your
No,
answer.
it wasn't you. It wasn't you. I know that for a fact.
Oh my. Really?
You paid a courtesan? Peter, you paid a courtesan.
I didn't pay a chorusant, alright?
you say that like so loudly, and there's a kind of like, what? And they like shuffle away.
I mean, I had a very nice conversation. Next thing I knew, I was 100 gold pieces lighter than I was before.
Oh, so you were robbed.
Listen, I'm not too worried. It's 100 gold pieces out of what? We're swimming in like 10k right now at most, right? Am I right?
Gold digger, not. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You get it. You get it, Al.
Mm-hmm.
It's a figure of speech.
Right, because Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess that sounds fun. Like,
Well,
as long as you're
Could've been
enjoying
worse.
your...
I mean, yeah, it could have been. I mean, yeah, I'm enjoying myself. I had a nice conversation. I mean, could have been worse. I could have been killed. I could have had all my gold taken away from me.
Yeah, that's
that's
true.
Worst thing you could have.
And the best news is, none of us have made a fool of ourselves yet.
well,
No, I don't think so. Good to know.
I don't think I did anything.
Exactly. So what Ace don't know won't hurt him.
Well,
What he
we
don't know
still have
won't
to,
hurt him.
still have to meet the queen.
Oh god, we
Oh,
still
you
have to do
guys
that,
are gonna
don't we?
meet the queen?
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess so.
Whoa, that's pretty
We,
crazy.
you know, we this is our first time at one of these functions.
Mine too.
Yeah, that's neat. Maybe they'll introduce you to her too then.
Oh god, I hope they don't. That sounds like way too much pressure.
As you say that, Ace kind of comes through the crowd, with, by his side, and you hear her go, oh gosh. I have to, feminine voices. What sounds like too much pressure? Oh gosh,
And it's like
I'm so sorry.
he was drinking water, and when he spits it out, it's like his frost breath like practically like shoots it into like ice particles, and they like shatter on the ground, like.
Oh gosh, are you okay? I'm so sorry.
Uh, hello.
he's fine.
Hello. Ace was just telling me about you all.
Is this the queen?
Yeah, this is the queen.
Yeah.
Owl immediately goes into like a heavy bow, just like
I am sorry, Your Highness.
Nyx imitates you.
He's like, oh god, okay, it's nice to meet you.
She kind of giggles and she's like, Ace, you've clearly trained them well in etiquette.
Marin does a bow as well, at the same time Nyx does, but he like bows at the waist with like one hand on his like stomach and the other like out.
Owl has not lifted up from the bow. He's like
Okay.
just like face down, just like, you know.
How does Peter greet the queen?
That's a good question.
She's
Peter
about
just-
by the way, she's about like 5'5", I'd say.
Okay. Peter just gives a very deep bow. Like it almost looks like his head's gonna make contact with the floor.
Oh gosh, okay. She goes, that's very kind of you all. You can straighten up. You're friends of Ace's, so you're friends of mine.
Who? Never heard of him.
I smack Peter on the
Ace, you see Ace immediately like put his hand to his forehead, and he's like, maybe we should go somewhere else to talk, and we can properly introduce you to them. I'm sorry. I'm not sure I know you. He points to Owl.
Oh, hello.
Just
I
puts a hand
am-
on his arm and is like, "This is Owl Chesterfield. He's here to." Wow.
that-
Sorry, I was like,
you're saying wow at your accent.
yeah.
In my head, Jez went to introduce him and then put their hand on his bicep and was like, wow.
Exactly how it went in my head too.
That's what I thought too.
Wow.
Wow.
Jez was like getting distracted mid-thought about how buff Al is.
I was so buff.
No, it was a combination of the fact that my voice like scratched and I could feel it, and the fact that I was doing British.
Okay. Anyway.
Crying, dude.
Fuck. That's funny.
Also, I'm
That's
sorry,
fucking
I've completely given up on an accent for this episode.
It's
It'll
okay,
return
you're
next
dying,
episode.
it's fine.
This is Owl Chesterfield.
Oh, Chesterfield. Hi.
Oh, God.
Hello.
He's here to celebrate Gaelia with us.
No,
Yeah,
nice to meet you.
Hello.
If,
Hi.
I'm sorry if you don't mind. I'm going to borrow my party a little bit.
Oh, yep. Totally. Yep.
Okay.
Have fun, you guys.
Right. It was
yep.
nice meeting you.
Yep. Bye.
It's kind of like gives.
Your
like,
Highness, and he does this
Marin, I guess, a
huge
glance.
bow again. It's like, I'm gonna go.
We'll.
And he just walks away.
Okay. She
We'll be
kind
back,
of like
Owl.
curtsies a little bit. It was nice meeting you.
He's already gone.
Okay.
Go get something to drink, pal.
She kind of looks around. She's like, yes. I actually wanted to invite you all back to my personal library, if we could talk there. Probably meet each other.
For certain.
Yeah. That sounds good to me. Jack kind of looks over where Al disappeared and looks back at Jez and he's like, if your Highness doesn't mind, I think I'm going to go help our dragon friend over there. And she goes, I don't mind at all, Jack. I'm sure I'll get to talk with you soon. And Jack kind of bows his head a little and goes to follow after Al, to keep him company. And it's just the four of you, and the queen escorts you all back to her library. And you kind of gather around. There's just massive bookcases, like they go up to the ceiling to the floor, and there are a few like red velvet couches with tables around them, kind of in the center area of this library, as if it's like a sitting area. And then in the back there is a massive desk, and behind the desk is a huge, like, floor-to-ceiling window that overlooks the back of the castle, which just kind of looks up towards the mountains and into the forests that are at the foothills of the mountain. You can see that outside it seems to be a bit brisker than it's been, because obviously you're entering the fall season, and there seems to be like a small fog happening. And she stands in front of this window, bathed in moonlight, as she surveys you all, and she goes, well, as you know, I'm Elena. You're all friends of Ace's and friends of mine, so you can call me Elena if you're comfortable with that. I only wish that you stick to Queen Palace in public. As you know, people don't know that I know about you, so to keep that way, I would like you to keep it formal around other people. But I would like to know you all. What are your names? I've heard of you, but I would like to put a face.
Well, the name's Peter Longbottom. And
That's right, you You studied in Eldersbane, right? But your family's from Haven?
For some time, yes. I studied in Eldersbane.
I trust they taught you many good things there. They are, obviously, as you know, very talented magic professors and such there. They're doing a lot for Althane in the preservation of magic.
Of course. I simply owe them more than just my life for all they taught me there.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Peter. Who?
I.
Yes.
Sorry. My name is Mars. Pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure, Marion. I assumed from what I've heard from Ace about you, that's such. Your bow gave you away.
My reputation precedes me.
Yes. Ace talks fondly of you. He talks fondly of all of you, but I've heard some stories.
I wink at Ace.
Ace seems like he kind of gives Elena a look like, I told you that in private. Oh Jesus. Detroit, you want to mute yourself then? Okay, he's gone.
Rip.
Rip. And that must mean your friend here is Nyx?
Oh, yeah, that's me. I am Nyx. And it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for allowing my friends and I to work for this operation. Yeah.
She kind of nods and she's like, I should be the one, thank you. After all, you've done so much for the protection of Grimoire, even in the short time that you've been with us. I couldn't be more grateful for what you all in the Evermore. And I'm sorry, I believe I've heard of you before, Jezebel, am I right?
Jez offers a curtsy and that's right. That's me.
I'm sorry that I haven't met you earlier. Ace doesn't typically. I know that you've worked with us for quite some time as wildcard, but I guess the timing was never right for me.
Things
I do
happen.
apologize for that.
It's no reason to apologize at all. I expect you have a very busy schedule.
Yes, well, such is the life of a royal. Since my mother's passing, it's been difficult, but we're staying strong, I think. This recent threat was unexpected and dangerous, and as I said, I could not be more grateful for all of you, for what you've done to help protect our people, not only in Grimoire, but of all of Althane. That brings me to something, though. I'm sure you may have heard by now that there are disappearances happening in Haven. And while you were all on your mission in the Evermore, I sent Ace and David and Athena out to investigate in Haven so they could find the culprit. Perhaps it was pirates or just some quarreling ships. But they couldn't find anything. Not. They found rumors, that was about it. There was just no trace left of these missing people. And I think you can understand that even though Haven is not our jurisdiction directly, it is a danger for us that foreign imports are not being brought in through the port city. And since I couldn't send Ace and the others out to sea while the lot of you were still on your mission in the forest, and we didn't know whether or not you would be returning, I was hoping you may further their investigation after you've recovered a bit from this past mission. I know it's asking a lot of you, especially after what you've been through, but in all honesty, it's alarming, but I don't think there's a real need to look too far into it just yet. Perhaps it is just some troublesome pirates, or maybe their boats have sprung leaks. They just sank in a part of the ocean that we were not, I was just hoping you might be able to shed a little bit more light on. If you don't find anything, well, we can just let Haven deal with that. Obviously, I'm concerned, but it is their right to decide what happens in their city, their kingdom.
I'm sure it won't be any problem at all. But I am curious. It doesn't seem like... What's the best way to put this? Are we sure that these disappearances are connected to each other? Or perhaps is there a more underlying factor amongst all these disappearances?
I would say it's hard to say. In total, there have been 5 missing ships, which, as you can probably guess, is quite a lot, and there's only so much that Haven can hide from the public, and it's not that they're hiding it to keep it secret, they're hiding it to prevent a panic, as you might assume. But people are wondering where their loved ones are. It's only been going on for... The first one was months ago, but as of recent times, 3 of them went missing in 2 weeks of each other. That's quite concerning, and I can only imagine that they're linked together somehow, but honestly, it would be a relief if you couldn't find a link between them, because that does leave a chance that perhaps it's just all... Ace kind of steps up and he's like, Elena, Australian. Elena and I were discussing how to go about this, because I don't want to send all of you out there again on your own after what happened last time. As you probably know, that wasn't the plan, and I don't want that to happen again. I don't want all of you out there with no one to guide you or help you in a dire situation, so I was thinking I might send Jack with you again this time, or I would go myself, but I have
No,
so
no,
many
no.
obligations and duties to fulfill here. And it's not that I'm trying to send other people to my dirty work, and I know that's how it sounds every time I say something like that, but it's a matter of
No, Jack.
maintaining.
No, Ace. We understand. Lots of work, things to do.
Exactly. We understand the responsibilities that bestow upon you.
Peter being earnest, Jez being snarky as fuck. Ace kind of sighs and he's like, Jez, I know you hate me right now, and probably will continue to hate me, but Elena kind of holds up a hand and she's like, Ace does a lot
Shit. Sorry.
for this kingdom. You're good. Ace does a lot for this kingdom. More than I think any of you understand. And it's partially my fault that he can't tell you about a lot. Please, I assure you, he only has everyone's best intention in mind. He has kept me and my family safe for so long. And she looks up at him affectionately and is like, I'm so grateful for him. He's one of the most selfless people I know, despite what he tells about him. I'm sure he's told you about the past, and if he hasn't, I'm sure he's hard on himself.
He's told us a good amount.
Well, do remember that our own perception of ourselves warped and distorted based on our own thoughts and feelings. You see, she kind of turns to look out the window at the moon for a little while, as if she's thinking, and Ace kind of shakes his head a little, and looks off to the side, rubbing his neck a bit. You notice, even in the pale lighting of the moon, that he looks a bit red in the face. Elena glances back at everyone and is kind of like, I'm so glad I finally got to meet all of you and learn your names and your faces. Again, I cannot express my gratitude enough. You are Grimoire's strongest line of defense against threats, and it's not an easy job, but it's one that someone must do, and I'm glad that I can trust all of you to... As she says this, you hear kind of a commotion outside, and
Oh no.
there is a pounding at the door to the library, and Elena kind of stops in her tracks and looks up, and this group of fully armored soldiers bursts in to the room. You hear kind of some of the guards that were standing on the outside of the room, but you see this this man, he takes off his helmet and looks up at all of you and goes, Queen Palace, I've come from Eldersbane. There's a dire matter at hand, and he kind of looks around at everyone, and he's like, I'm here to report that the Revenant Ruby has been stolen. And, you see Ace, who was kind of, like, leaning on the edge of the desk, like, stand up immediately on his... And, all of you are kind of turned towards to look at this guard, and you've never heard, this word before. But Ace looks like he's just seen a ghost. And then you hear just a soft, oh. And, Ace turns back to look at Elena, and she is holding a dagger in her hand that she has just removed from the upper drawer of her desk. And he's like, Elena, what are you doing? And, she looks at him, but with a kind of, like, expression that is, it's not affection, it's almost like, it's like recognition, but also like this intense look of contempt. And she goes, it appears I've been found out, Alderius. And she plunges the dagger into her stomach.
What?
Can I cast hold
What?
person?
The fuck?
The second I see her move. I wanted to do it the second she pulled the dagger out, but I didn't because of...
You were not facing her when she pulled the dagger out.
Oh, I wasn't?
No, you guys, like, turned around to look at the guards, and she was standing behind you, looking out the window.
She did start speaking, though.
She was already holding the dagger when she said, oh.
I know.
Ah, fuck
But
me.
I would have turned around and saw when she started speaking.
Okay.
I'll let it be your call, but
I don't, like... I don't see how Marin would, like, anticipate her just stabbing herself to death.
no, he wouldn't have.
She was just, like, holding the dagger to her stomach when you all turned around.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, I don't think Marin could get a spell off in the time she, like, did this.
Okay. If it's not 6 seconds, it's fine.
I think the second that, the words left the guard's mouth of what was happening, she was, like, preparing to fucking outie.
Okay. Then, Marin, like, rips his wand out of his boot.
Okay,
It's halfway there.
I mean, you can still, like, cast it, because, like, it's not... I'm telling you now, it's not gonna be, like, a waste of a spell slot, because you'll get a long rest. But, as you, like, as Marin tries to shoot off the dagger, she's already, like, slumped a dagger, and, you watch as an illusion kind of fades, and a young woman with bright copper hair, who none of you recognize, but Ace looks like he's seen, like, again, he looks like he's seen a ghost this whole time, watches as she slumps to the floor, and, a red figure, rises from her corpse and passes through the window and disappears into the fog of the night. And that's where we're gonna leave this session, which went way longer than I anticipated.
Smash cut to Owl in the like near the punch table with Jack. Go,
Oh I think this party's going well.
And scene. So that is you're fine, Detroit. I'm so sorry that you're sitting here like covered in
I'm like
beverage.
drenched right now, and I'm just like, God damn it, what's going on?
Well, the lucky thing is
This is why you only need one
wrapping
drink.
up, so you can go dry off because I need to dip like immediately after this ends. But thank you once again to all my players for coming. Thank you to anyone who stopped in on the stream to listen, or are listening to this in the future. And I hope you all had a good time.
Thank you, Emily, for DMing.
Wonderful time.
Thank
you so
you.
much, for DMing.
Yeah. Bye. Have a good night.
Bye.